Let me begin. The image behind me is not really an accurate picture of my financial situation. So I guess I'd better show you the real one. I don't know what you think about it, but have you ever heard of financial markets? Oh yeah, sure. Now you have, but before, say before 2008, I hadn't. Of course, I had heard of banks, stock exchange, and things like that. But that we have a market for financial products, no. There are always lucky guys trade. Then you get the news about a huge financial crisis. Billions of dollars vaporize, banks tumble or are kept alive with our own tax money. And I'm not an economist, but a philosopher. So I start to wonder about financial markets, billions of dollars that suddenly are gone, while the baker still bakes his bread. And then you learn amazing things. Homo sapiens is such a smart fellow. Take, for instance, this. You asked me to store some gold for you, for I possess a strongbox. I give you a receipt for that, but you are not the only one. Dozens of people want to store their gold in my strongbox. What space do you need? So, as I said, dozens of people want to store their gold in my strongbox. Then someone comes to me and asks me to lend him some gold. Okay, your receipt, please. Receipt? I have no receipt. Yeah, but the gold in my strongbox is owned by people with receipts. Then I get a brilliant idea. Some gold is already for years in my strongbox, and the owners don't ask for it at all. On the contrary, they even bring more and more. So, why couldn't I lend some of the gold for a year to this fellow and let him pay back plus some extra for me? Okay. When everybody with receipts comes to collect their gold, I have a problem. But that is so improbable. This line of reasoning was already invented in the Middle Ages. And we only have sophisticated it to the limit. Okay. A commercial bank borrows an amount of 1 million from the central bank. The central bank creates the money. It is the only bank which has the right to do so. By printing banknotes, by typing the figure in on a terminal, or even by using taxpayers' money. Based on this loan, Bank A lends 900,000 to entrepreneur N, which allows him to build his new workshop. Simultaneously, 100,000, the mandatory 10%, is held in reserve of the bank. Construction company N receives 900,000 from M on its account, which the company has with Bank B. Based on this 900,000, Bank B lends an amount of 810,000. An amount of 90,000 is held in reserve by Bank B, as it's obliged to do by law. The loan of 810,000 is for Mr. and Mrs. B to buy a house with the money. The seller of the house, Mr. and Mrs. X, put the money in a saving account at Bank C. Okay. This bank lends 729,000 and hold 81,000 in reserve, and so on, and so on, and so on. The process of digital money creation continues until, on the basis of 1 million loan from the central bank, an amount of 9 million has created by the commercial banks. Both the 1 million loan from the central bank and the 9 million from the commercial bank are created out of nothing. The table behind me shows you the real figures. This whole system is based on the expectation that all participants will repay their debts. Project this on a global scale, where whole countries like Greece and Italy cannot repay their debts. And we are not yet halfway. Homo sapiens is a breathtaking organism. All he contrives, already 4,000 before Christian era, he acted like this. You have 50 sheep, B. I have none. Could you borrow me 12 from your to start my own flock? Oh, sure. That's what friends are for. Oh, well, thanks. By the way, I lose offspring from those 12 then. So, when you have your own flock, can you return me 16 sheep? Oh, yes, I understand. Sure, no problem. Thus, interest was born. Then A said, Can I borrow 10 gold coins from you, B? Sure, that's what friends are for. Oh, wow, thanks. By the way, you don't mind to return 14 gold coins, do you? No, okay. And here things went wrong. How can 10 coins become 14 coins? They don't breed like cattle. It means that A has to work his butt off to get at least 15 coins. Already Aristotle saw that there was something wrong with this idea. Aristotle understood that money is sterile. It doesn't beget more money the way cows beget more cows. He knew that money exists not by nature, but by law. To quote Aristotle, the most hated sort of wealth getting, and with greatest reason, is interest, which makes a gain out of money itself and not from the natural object of it. For money was intended to be used to exchange, but not to increase at interest. And the term interest, which means the birth of money from money, is applied to the breeding of money, because the offspring resembles the parents. Whereof, of all modes of wealth getting, this is the most unnatural. End quote. After a while, B gets 14 coins returned from A. So B gets richer by doing nothing, and A gets the leftovers. There immediately is an objection. Hold on. A is doing something. He took the risk of losing all 10 coins. So the 4 extra are a kind of payment for this risk taking. Nice one to think about. But the facts are that only in the real economy value is created in the process of producing goods and services, which are then purchased by consumers. Money is only meant as a means to exchange values. This means that money does not create value. But what really is happening is a constant transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. The picture behind me illustrates the process. And then look especially at these 200. They sneak from the real economy into the money economy. This means that those who possess the money only get more money. In 2004, Professor Margaret Kennedy from Germany calculated that in her country this process led to a money transfer from workers to money owners of almost €1 billion a day. Those who possess the money do nothing else but constantly pulling at the real value as generated by real economy, with banks, investors and governments in the lead here. Look at the next picture. A financial crisis, you say. For whom? Not for the rich. Their wealth only has increased and all is business as usual. This is going on this earth day by day. Due to the financial system which mankind has created, we are trapped in a treadmill whereby the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. As today, Mrs. Yellen of the US Federal Reserve Bank even confirmed this fact and wondered whether These were the original social values the state was based on. At the start of my talk, I asked you, when you heard for the first time of the existence of financial markets, what is dealing and wheeling there is what almost all world cultures warned against, even centuries ago. Money is not an object of value which you can buy or sell. Money does not create value. But since the past 300 years, and with an extra momentum since the 1980s, neoliberalism has taken control. The financial markets have become a planet on their own. Those are not abstract markets. We are talking here about human beings, about a small group of our fellow men. You want an example? Look at the next picture. Was in my newspaper this very morning. A group of about 90 bank managers of Caja Madrid in Spain spent more than 15.5 million euro on wine, liquor, clothes, gadgets, fancy trips, as if it was their own money. This Caja Madrid was eventually saved with 22 billion taxpayers' money, and a lot of small investors lost their money. And you believe that this is an inconvenient exception? Everybody knows that the system sucks. But why isn't anybody doing something? I guess the answer is simple and human. Because of greed and fear. A small group on this earth, that is 3%, possess an immense part of the global wealth, 43% of it. And they simply think that this is a natural way of being on this planet. Bankers become members of a government, and politicians become bankers, and thus they keep supporting each other at the expense of the general welfare. And you are a communist, which seems to be very bad if you want to question this natural state of affairs. G.M. Keynes once said it. Capitalism is based on a peculiar belief that selfish people with selfish motives contribute to the general welfare of society. Economy cherishes only a material conception of man. Homo sapiens is a being with unlimited material needs, and the quintessence of existence is to satisfy these needs. But we are trapped in this world, which believes that money and economic growth are the solution of everything, while more and more people begin to realize that we live on an earth with limited resources. Not the pursuit of material wealth should be our goal, but the pursuit of well-being. Only the rich of this earth, the ones who pull at the strings, try to make us believe that these two goals are one and the same. At the moment, we are still the maze runners. Maybe we'll find a way out. Thank you. Okay. You're quite silent. Did I say something wrong?